It may sound a bit abstract, but there is a truth that is real: suffering. Suffering is simply the feeling of discomfort when you want something but don't get it, or when you don't want something but get it. It is a fact that everyone, regardless of nationality, social class, or age, will experience suffering. It only differs in form, but the principle is the same. People suffer only because of one of the two reasons I just mentioned. Either they don't get what they want, or they get what they don't want. For example, suffering because you want to hear sweet sounds but end up hearing ear-piercing noises. Suffering because you want to see beautiful things but are instead presented with ugly things. Suffering because you want to eat delicious food but end up eating something terrible. Suffering because you want to smell good but end up smelling strong odors. Suffering because you want to be warm but end up being hot. Suffering because you want to be cool but end up being cold. Suffering because you want to be rich but you are poor. Suffering because you want to be the president but you are a worker. Suffering because you want to stay young forever but you still have to grow old. We suffer for many reasons, but in the end, it all comes down to one and only one cause: unmet needs. To reduce suffering to the extreme, the only way is to reduce the creation of suffering. Because the truth is that suffering does not exist. You have the right to want things, and it is completely possible to achieve or not achieve what you want. But it is clear that it has nothing to do with suffering. Suffering is simply a feeling that you create in your own mind, and it has nothing to do with the outside world. Right? Who says that being poor is suffering? The poorest people in Africa are still dancing, singing, and living happier than countless people with too much money. Who says that being hardworking is suffering? I bet there are countless workers who only have enough to eat, but they live very leisurely. There are also many presidents who look like they are relaxed, but they are stressed all year round. Just keep making money, but don't set a number of dollars that corresponds to happiness and a number of dollars that corresponds to suffering. Just do the work, but don't set up what is happy or what is suffering. Ambition is also okay, but don't demand to achieve it to be happy. The game of getting it is only for a moment, and then you will have to work hard again as usual. Suffering seems very real, but it is not real.